In this video, I'm going to be having a conversation with an international student who reached out to me and said they wanted to be on the channel. That conversation is coming up right after this. What is happening, my beautiful people? My name is Richard, and on this channel, we provide you with tips, tricks, strategies to enhance your international student experience. I also sometimes share my experiences living in the US for a while. So if this is content that you like, consider hitting the subscribe button and clicking on the notification bell so that anytime I drop a new video, you will be notified. Also follow us on Twitter at globe_engage to stay up to date with previews and sneak peek of our upcoming videos. So one of the things that I started doing on this channel is to connect with other international students and to give them a platform to be able to share their stories with you, especially in the midst of COVID. Today, I am honored and privileged to have an international student who reached out and showed interest in being on the channel. So if you're ready, let's welcome our guest and dive right into the conversation. All right, so can you please tell us your name and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Adeshewa Mashaligo. I'm from Nigeria. I'm studying nanoengineering. I'm a PhD student in nanoengineering, my second year. And I studied petroleum and gas engineering in my BSc in Nigeria.
Nice, PhD student. Whoa, this is the first time having a PhD or a doctoral student on the channel. So we are definitely, and we know that being a doctoral student is not easy. So thank you for taking time to just come and share your experiences living in the US and even your overall experience being here. So how does it feel being a doctoral student? Just tell us a little bit about it, because a lot of people, including myself, have that fear of being a doctoral student. So, just how does it feel being a doctoral student?
It feels good. It's stressful, but if I think what matters most is the interest. If the interest is there, you can scale through whatever odds comes your way. But if the interest is not there, so it's good because it has been going well.
So why nano engineering?
When I was looking for admission, I was trying to go into renewable energy, sustainable energy. Even when I came into nano, I applied for nano energy. But when I entered the school, the professor in charge of nano energy is not around, so I had to look for another field based on it.
So we are going to come back a little bit more about, just the schooling process. For now, I'm sure our viewers are dying to know a lot of other things. How long have you been in the US?
1 year and 3 months, I think.
So you still have a little bit of the African sun in you, right? Why the United States and not any other school in a different country?
Another reason is still the funding. Because asking from people that are here, people that I know before, US is easier to get. I think it's easier to get admission and funding in the US compared to UK. UK is easy for you to get admission, but the funding aspect of it is, I don't know, it's very hard and it has a lot of stress. And also there is a pathway to working in the US. The non-pathway, you finish your school, you're able to get a job that can file green card for you. You're good to go, which some other countries do not have. For Canada, one reason why I didn't consider it like that is for you to get admission ahead, you have to seek a professor first. You have to have a professor first. So those kind of stress. So I think it was easier for me to actually apply for the US. And I also had a family here, a cousin that was here, so it helped me in the process.
So I'm smiling by the answers you are giving, because I recently released a video just talking about, what anybody who is interested in studying abroad should be thinking about. And I kind of mentioned some of these things that, hey, some people will choose countries because they have family there or because of scholarship availabilities. And so just the fact that you've been there and that was part of your decision to come to United States instead of a country like Canada, where I know there are a lot of other Nigerians there. That is interesting. But if you're watching this video and you've not seen that video, I'm going to leave a link to that video in the video description. Check it out if you know somebody who intends or has a dream of studying abroad, or if you are interested in studying abroad, you can have some useful information there that will at least guide your search process. So let's see, you got a school, you applied, you got funding, you got admission. Let's talk about visa, right? How difficult was it to get a United States visa to come study?
For me, it was easy. It was easy for me because during my interview, one was person that asked questions.
The consulate.
Said, why are you coming to the US? Do you plan to come? Do you plan to go back to your country? I answered, gave the reasons, at least stuff like that. And I think one of the things that helped was because I had a full funding. That's one important factor that helped me. Because where I was in my interview, someone else was in their interview, and I think the person didn't have it full funding. I could see the way the interaction was dragging on, the guy trying to prove himself. So I think the funding aspect of it really made my admission easy, and I found favor with God, I think.
I remember when I went for my visa interview, it was really a stressful moment, but I definitely understand, because again, it's a lot of things that people don't really take into consideration, that even if you don't have full funding, there are still ways that you can answer those questions that will make sense to influence or at least help with the visa process. All right, so interview, you got your visa. How does your family feel about you leaving Nigeria and coming to the US to come and study?
They're happy. It's a way to improve the family condition. So they're happy. Let me see. Maybe my mom misses me once in a while. When she calls, she speaks for long. But overall, they're happy.
Do you miss your family?
I can't say very much. Yes, because when I was in Nigeria, I was already staying away from the family for long already. So most time I see them once in a year before. So maybe the missing has not manifested yet fully.
I mean, you've just been here for a little over 1 year, so trust me, you get there. And hope maybe when we have this conversation again, a few months later, you'll be like, yes, now I'm beginning to miss my family. What school do you go to, or which school do you go to?
I'm attending North Carolina A&T State University. That's Agriculture and Technical State University.
And how has the experience been since you've been here? I'm talking about the educational system, having to pick your own classes and all of that.
It has been good. Yeah, at least NCAT is A&T is an HBCU school, so the environment is not so white, so it has not been hard. It's easy for me to I don't know, just okay. It feels good.
Have you ever felt like you don't really belong within a certain group that you found yourself in?
No, because as I said, it's an HBCU school, so it's diverse. So it's not like I'm the only black person among several white people. I'm the only African among. It's a diverse environment. So I was really grateful I even came here. I'm so happy I came to this area.
Okay, so what about the education itself in terms of deliverables? So you're schooling, you're a doctoral student. I like to interchange PhD and doctoral student, but what has your experience been as far as course delivery, in terms of meeting deadlines, having to use technology that you may not have been exposed to, Blackboard, Canvas, turn it in and stuff like that? How has it been for you in terms of adjustments?
At the beginning, it was a little bit rough, like sketchy, because I'm trying to learn new things that I've not used. But so far, it's actually good because, and there is this consideration, at least in my department, for the first year. There's this consideration that we are all coming from different fields. My department it's not like it's not like a department you do in undergrad and you do the same way. This is a new field. Almost everybody, 90% of people getting admission in engineering are coming from different background. So the first year they made it a little bit like a transition period, especially the first semester, a transition period. So there was room for us to actually ask questions, get info, and the lecturers were very approachable. It was easy, and I had a lot of people around me to help me through, like other Nigerians that were in the program already. Once you get in, they just adopt you into
that's what we do, right?
And just help you, give you information, give you all the necessary things you need to know. They even tell you which course to do and which course not to do. Stuff like that. So it made it easy.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you found yourself in a community or in a school where there's community and there's like a lot of support. Because one of the things that you who is watching and may have never experienced before is the fact that when you go to a school where you don't really have community, it's hard. Like, it's really difficult. Sometimes you just need somebody you can identify with, somebody who understands what you are going through, and somebody that you can just talk to. And so, it's really important, as I've been saying, that, if you are going to be looking for schools out there, look at the school's websites, look at, the population dynamics, and see how many international students are admitted on a yearly basis. And that can also help influence your decision. Because if you find yourself in a school where you are basically a lone wolf, it's going to be really difficult for you in terms of getting the much needed social support. So that's something to keep in mind. So a little over 1 year being in the US, what has been 3 things that surprised you since you came to the US?
3 things that surprised me. I don't know. Surprised, I don't know. In what sense? Basic.
You're looking back at Nigeria, you're looking at US, were there any perceptions you had about US before you came, and when you came, has that perception changed in any way?
I would say, watching American movies, I've seen, how do I explain it? Maybe the kind of movies I was watching, they were actually the Black American movies, when they are portraying Black Americans, the hood life and all those gangster-ish life. I've not seen it yet. Maybe because I don't go out, but I've not seen that so far. I know it may exist in some place, but the way it was in the movie, like, I see this.
It's everywhere, right?
But it's not listen like that.
Have you been in a situation that made you feel like, oh my goodness, like I didn't see myself being in that situation? Or that made you shy or feel like uncomfortable?
My first roommate was a Black American. And when I came, I cooked Nigerian food. So when you cook and smell is the house.
Yeah. So the spices and all of that.
When the girl came in and opened the door, the way she first stood at the door, on the smell, I could not talk because I knew that the smell was overpowering. So she didn't say anything, just walked in. But since then, I don't cook all the time. try to cook just like once in a week. So when she has gone out, so that before she comes in, or even though she didn't say anything, but I could feel like she changed when she entered the place.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so I mean, we've all had our own moments like that. But when I came, I lived with a Cameroonian. Now my roommate is white. We have like amazing, relationship and all of that. But so let's dive a little bit deeper into this conversation. So as an international student, I'm assuming that you also work 20 hours a week. You work on campus, right?
I'm supposed to be working. I entered as a graduate research assistant. So basically, I'm supposed to work in any research my advisor gives to me. So for the first semester, I know I mentioned that the course is a diverse course. People come from different places. So the first semester, we were not in the lab. We're not working per se in the lab. We're doing more of reading up. When you talk to your advisor and say, oh, maybe you want to work in this aspect, we've not picked a specific aspect we're going to work on. We're just on that, okay, this direction, nanomaterials, this material. So you talking to him, you're going to be reading several papers so that you're good, because you're coming to a new field. So you have the background knowledge of the field before you can choose the specific stuff you want. So that first semester was like that, except you're the kind that they already know you had previous idea. That's when you work. And I think it depends on the professor also. My professor were not going to have what he was after was trying to up our background, reading a lot of papers, doing characterization training, like equipment training. There are a lot of equipment in the labs that will be useful in that direction, even if you're not going to use it immediately. So we're doing equipment training.
You have an idea of how to.
Yeah, so that was basically what we're doing. For the second semester, starting the second semester, you start going to the lab, trying to work on the research that your advisor is working on. So
how has school life been since COVID started?
It has been on. I don't want to say standstill because it's still moving, but the research aspect of it has been on standstill for some time. So the department is trying to open up again and to start research back. So we are trying to start the research, but it has delayed a lot of stuff. Just now I said we're doing equipment training. Then I only did 2. So there were other equipment I should have trained now, learned, but I've not been able to learn it because you need someone to be there to show you physically. So we are not doing that. So there's no way for me to learn those equipment. So it has stopped a lot of things, the research I was supposed to work on. So basically, I'm just trying to work on all the paperwork now. The research aspects, I haven't been able to dive into it well.
So for this past semester, has your school been fully online or there are some in-person classes?
My environmental courses were registered as in-person, but we did the classes online. Just one of the course, we did the exam in person. We did one of the exam in person. We went to the department, used the hall, provided all the necessary mask, N95 mask, everything we needed, hand sanitizer and everything. But the classes were online. But just that course, we did the exam in person.
And so since COVID hit and a lot of things have sort of been at a standstill for you, has that affected your job on campus?
My job is my research.
Okay, so I mean, you still get to work on your research and you still get.
Yeah, most likely research online documents, writing the proposed experiment I'm going to do, but I've not been able to do the actual experiments because all the equipment I need for it. Okay, now that I'm done with my classes, I'll be starting this week. But during the classes, we are not able to tell. Because what they did was they opened the lab for the students in their 4th year, 3rd year, but they are about to finish. Those of us in 2nd and 1st year, they told us to work on things that we can work on with our laptop, preparing proposal, stuff like that. So
what about other international students, or do you know if most of them are still able to work on campus, or most of them are still not able to work, and how are they surviving?
There are people working on campus. I have a lot of international students. Those ones, they go to lab every day, because I think their lab, they already have a section that is their own, and I think they already have the needed knowledge for what they want to do. So they've been going to the lab and everything. Teaching assistants, people that are doing teaching assistants, they join the online class, mark assignments. If they are, I don't know if they mark exam or not, but I know they mark assignments. So they've been doing their job. Yeah, everybody has been doing their job. Just that some people, like some lecturers, didn't take teaching assistant this semester since the classes will be online. Their own classes will be online. They didn't take teaching. So some people were not able to get job, so they had to look for other ways. I don't know.
Okay, I know I sort of asked you this question, but what are your top 3 differences between living in Nigeria and living in the US now?
The top 3 are the social amenities. As in, there is good road. As in, good road. That's still number 1. Number 2 is the weather. It is cold, man. When it is summer, it is hot. When it is winter, fall, it is cold. It's like there is no midpoint.
In between, yeah. I don't like winter. I don't like the cold weather.
It's like hot extreme, cold extreme. It's just extreme. Why for Nigeria, we say it's hot, but the hotness is still not up to the normal distance. So I think I prefer Nigeria weather than this place. But I prefer this environment. This environment is clean. And also another difference is it is quiet. Like, I don't know. When I hear people, when I read news of people having depression, now I understand why they have depression. The environment is quiet, especially if you don't, even when you have friends around you, there's still this feeling of the environment is quiet. It's like you're on your own. The feeling is that I don't have that kind of feeling in Nigeria. Even when I don't relate with my neighbors, I can easily come outside from my house, stand, I'm seeing different drama and entertain myself. But this place, even when you come out, the only thing you see is tree and cars passing. Like, it's too quiet. So
I'm surprised you didn't mention electricity.
Yes, that's why I said social amenities. Like
yeah. Okay, right, cuts across.
Because my phone will be 5%. I'll still be pressing it. I can't do that in Nigeria.
You'll be walking around holding charger. As soon as you
and power bank.
As soon as you enter a restaurant, you're looking at seats that are near the plugs. Yeah, I definitely I can relate to an extent. And even, and I tell some of my American friends that the fact that there's electricity 24/7 alone, it's a blessing, right? Because you'll be doing work and you never know when your light will go off. So it's like, it's almost 6. Let me try and finish everything I'm doing before. Let me iron my clothes for the week before the light goes off. So I can definitely relate and understand where you're coming from to an extent. Okay, so I know you kind of mentioned that, but how does international students community look like in your school?
I don't know if there is an international, let's say African Student Association, something like that. I don't know if it exists because I've never asked, because I don't have any reason to ask. When I was coming to the school, I reached out to the international office that I need an apartment, like if they know anyone looking for an apartment, so that when I come, I'll just go there straight. I don't know any, even though my cousin was there, but it was not in the same location. So from there, I got to chat with other Nigerians that were coming in for my set.
Do you plan on visiting home anytime soon? Why?
No,
Why?
Let me see. One, the financial aspect. It's not easy to just say I'm carrying myself to Nigeria and visit. Anything that is making me to visit. Apart from the normal flights, tickets, go and come. There's no way you go to Nigeria. There's this mentality that you are in US. They don't know if you're a student. They don't even care. If you tell that you're a student, they believe you have money. So going home, the expenses will be so much. So I don't think I'm buoyant enough to say I'm going to Nigeria anytime soon.
Yeah, and that's the reality for a lot of people. Sometimes when people travel and they've not been back home, there's always this perception that, oh, he traveled or she traveled and they forgot about us. But until you hear some of the things that people go through, especially students, you never understand how much grind some of us have to just put in to be able to pay rent. You never understand how much grind people have to put in to be able to balance school and also make and save some money. And Ade is sharing her experience. She's like, yes, and it's true. You can't just pack your bags and go back home without taking anything to anybody. That alone comes with its own kind of stigma. So if you're home and you're watching this video, please know that sometimes it's not deliberate that people don't want to come home, but the means. Now, if you're a student and you've lost your job due to COVID, how do you even plan a trip to go back home to spend time with family? So all you can do is keep praying and keep sending messages of support to at least keep us going. But if someone bought you tickets, would you still go home? No, I mean once COVID is done. Once we are done with COVID.
I would. I'm not ready. When I was leaving Nigeria, I told my parents they would see me in 5 years' time.
Is that after school? Once you're done with school?
Yes. Meaning when I've gotten a job. That is when they will see me. Because my visa is still valid for now. And the visa is 2 years. So let's say I want to go at the end of my 3rd year. It means I have to go through another process of visa.
Applying again.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy. I've heard people, when people talk about it here, they say they want to do their visa renewal, they won't go to Nigeria. Because there's still a probability that they will deny you visa, even with the fact that you're a student and you're working, you're doing everything well. So I don't want to put myself in that kind of situation. That's
one of my friends back in Ohio, who was a doctoral student then, also went to Ghana to renew his visa, and he was denied. And this is somebody who was already 2 years into the program. So sometimes you never understand what the situation
I don't want to put myself in that kind of situation because I don't like stress.
Of course.
I like the easy part.
Visa application is stressful.
It is. So going to Nigeria when my visa is about to expire, So as I said, when I've gotten a job, somehow, I don't know how it will work, but I think it will be easier. More like I'm on a path to green card or something. I don't know, maybe when I'm getting married. Yeah.
Invite me to your wedding when you're getting married. I'll come. So I mean, we've shared a lot. What are your plans after school? I know it's still a long time from now, but what has been your thought process in terms of what is my life after school looking like?
My life after school is to get a job. That's still the aim of everything. Before I came to the US, normally I was thinking of going to academy line, kind of. But coming here, seeing the way the lecturers I've related with some lecturers, the effort is not effort, like what they do trying to get proposal, get grants, all those things are stressful, man. Trying to publish paper almost every year, at least to stay relevant.
Yeah.
I think I'll just go into the industry.
Well, I mean, whichever way it is, you are still going to be providing you are going to be a resource to wherever you are going to find yourself. And that's how I try to look at it, because you don't want to be in academia and you are going into industry. You are bringing a different perspective into that industry. You are bringing a whole international perspective into that industry. So definitely, whichever path you decide to go, we wish you all the best. I hope that everything that you are praying and working towards comes to fruition. So we are almost done. What would you tell somebody back home in Nigeria or Ghana or Africa in general who plans to study abroad? It doesn't matter which country, so long as they want to study abroad. What?
My advice to the person is, if the person is still in university, first year, second year, my advice is to read and have a good GPA. I won't say have a first class GPA because I didn't have a first class. But what I'm trying to say is have a good GPA, because that's like one of the criteria. I've had the mind of, I've always said it since I was before I ever entered university. That's when my parents were rich enough. I want to leave Nigeria. I just wanted to see the way the education of another country is. I've watched it so much in movies. I wanted to be in that place. I want to see the way it is. So I think that was one of the things that helped me, kind of. So because I already had the mindset that I want to live here, so I was kind of conscious about my GPA to some extent, so that at least I try my best to do without stressing myself to get what I can get. So that by the time you finish, you have your good GPA. One of the reasons why I was mentioning the grade stuff is I entered PhD directly from my BSc. I didn't do masters from my program. And that was because my GPA was up to the criteria. When some schools and some departments, there are specific departments that take, if you want to get into the PhD program direct, you have to have a minimum of 3.5 GPA when you convert your GPA to US GP. So that's one of the reasons why you should have good GPA. So you'll be able to have access to more options. Because if your GPA was not up to that, even if the school offers it, you need to do a master's for like an additional 2 years.
Yeah, thank you for that insight. So yes, Ade is saying that it is possible to go straight into a doctoral program from undergrad without having to do a master's degree. But all depends on specific schools, specific programs, and your GPA. So if you are still in school, don't slack, keep working hard, improve on that GPA. Otherwise, you still have to go through the master's program, which is not a bad thing. It's just going to take you a little bit longer to get to achieving a doctoral degree.
If you are the type that wants to, for Nigeria, we do national youth service. If you want to do your national youth service before coming, make sure you do your GRE exam. Like, try to know everything you need. The exams you need to write, the amount you will pay, plan everything such that when you start the process, you won't be overwhelmed by the amount of money you need to pay, by the stress. You need to know what you're doing. Are you writing GRE? Are you writing TOEFL or not? Are you paying for visa? Have a plan, write it down, so that when you start the process, you already saved enough for it or stuff, so you won't be overwhelmed. That's one of the things. And if it is possible for you to have someone in the US that can help you, I tell everybody that if not for my cousin, I don't think it would be easy for me to come here, because he was the one that, even in the terms of researching for university, he did all those things for me. It wasn't that I researched this university. I just told him because I wanted to do. So if it's possible to have someone here that can help you.
Ade is saying that if you have plans to study abroad, have some time to research. Yes, somebody may be here to help you, but that help is going to depend on what it is that you want. You have to feed that person something, and that involves your interest. I've made a full video about what you should be thinking about, how to strategize, some things you should be looking out for. I'm going to leave the link in the video description below. You can check it out. And then if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, we want to build a community where we want to create that connection. If you are only interested and you are serious about it, we will try our best to provide you with the resources and assistance that you need. So thank you so much, Ade, for making time to come hang out with us. What you've shared with us has been very, very helpful, beautiful insight. And I'm actually surprised in a good way that you said you're a doctoral student. In my head, I thought I was going to speak with somebody who was in a master's program or something. So that definitely helps, because I'm not saying that in a way to feel like you can't do it, but like I said, I like to be inspired by people, and so knowing that, and you are in a field where it's new to you, that even makes it mind-blowing. And now I am inspired to actually finish my application and see it through, and to continue with school, because I don't want to sell myself short. I tell people that when you come to the US and the opportunity is there for you to study, try as much as possible to study, if not for anything. So thank you so much for coming to hang out with us, and thank you all for watching. If you are new here, you are welcome. Click on the subscribe button to join the beautiful people family. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at globe_engaged to stay up to date with our upcoming videos. Until I see you on the next video, stay safe out there and keep engaging. Peace.